Hello everyone, this is Mo, and this is a tutorial how to create an object-oriented menu. There is a lot of advantages to the object-oriented menu than the regular procedural menu of the switch case and enumerate data. So in a lot of the tasks you've done in this unit, we have to create a user option to choose from a menu from 5 choices maybe or something like that. So you can use a switch case in these tasks, but if your program become more complicated or make more bigger, or your project is bigger than just 5 options, or even like if your one option has also options to choose from the menu, becomes like a switch case inside of a switch case inside of switches, would be a lot of the spaghetti code, and it will be a lot complicated than just doing an object-oriented menu. So this video will just do the blueprint or the foundation of how to create an object-oriented menu. So let's begin. As you can see here, we have the basic main class. We don't need that. So okay, first let's create an interface, because this interface is to all the options in the menu take from this interface. So I will do the account system withdraw with deposit, but in object-oriented method. Okay, I will call it account. Okay, so let's do it public interface. Okay, so we have the interface, which is iAccount. So we need only have one. Now we will do just one method, which is we will do a public void do, which is all the task will so every menu option will take this method. So we have the interface. Now we'll create another class, which we will call it do nothing. Okay, this class is really important because we need to because no matter how the user enters anything, we will take that user input and not just throw any exceptions. So if the user somehow we have 3 options and the user enters ABC, in the regular procedural menu the program will exit because he threw a new the exception is not handled. In this object-oriented menu, we will create a do nothing program. If the user enter a not valid option, we will just do nothing. So that's another advantage to the object-oriented menu method. So this class do nothing, we will take the interface and we will call the public void do, but we will do nothing with it. So that's the do nothing, and then we will create another one. Let's call it deposit. Now we have deposit. Let's add public because we need to do that. I misspelled deposit, but that's okay. So we will add iAccount there, and then we will public void do, and then we will just add just a basic. We will call the deposit. We will just create a just to print you chose deposit. Okay. So now we have the first menu option. So we will create another class, which is you can create as many options you want or as many classes you want, depending on your menu or your job. So we will call this withdraw, or let's make this capital. So now we have a withdraw. Let's make it also public, and yeah, we will call the interface as well. So now we have public. There's something wrong here because you need to create a do method. So as we create do, and we will create just console.writeLine you chose withdraw. Okay, so this is the second option. Let's just begin with two options for now, and then we will create another class that can bring all the menu options together. So we will create something like ATM. Okay, so we have an ATM. This ATM class, we will just bring all the withdraw and the deposit options together. So we will have it public as well, class 8, and then we will create a read-only dictionary, because we need this dictionary is the main job of this dictionary is to bring all the menu options in one dictionary, because the menu option and the user input. If the user input equals the menu option, we will call this menu option. So we'll call it we will take a string. The string is the menu option, and the I account, which is the interface. We will also, it's read only because we don't need the user to edit that dictionary, and we will call this dictionary accounts. Okay, so here we will create another read only, which is, as I told you before, the do nothing one. So if I have I account and the do nothing, this do nothing is really important, because we don't need we don't want to just create exceptions in this menu. So we'll create our first we'll create now the instructor. We will call this instructor ATM, as you have to do that. Then we have the accounts. So what's the accounts equals to? The accounts is new dictionary, which is a string and account. Here the syntax of the accounts is like, it's sounded like a method, but then here is the string we need to have. It's like, what's the user input gonna be? It's like deposit, and then we will see a new deposit. And then here we will create another one, which is the withdraw. Here is also new withdraw. Okay. Here, don't forget the semicolon. Okay, now we will done with the dictionary. Now the nothing, we will create a do nothing equals to new a new do nothing. Okay, cool. So if you have another options like withdraw deposit or transaction or do deposit, something like that, we will just add it in here. So now we will need a method that deal with the user input. So we will create another, so we'll call it input. Okay, and then it will always take, that's the user input, which is, we will call it key or something like that. So here we will call here we will call the account, the dictionary. We will get a very useful get value or default, which is if something has value, we will get that value. If something doesn't have value, we will have that do nothing one. So we'll have get value or nothing. With the first we take the user input, which is key, and then if the key doesn't, it's not in the dictionary, we will call do nothing, and that's we will call the do method in every menu option. So now we have the ATM and we have all the classes or all the menu option. So we will go to the main now. We will create, first we need to create an ATM, which is ATM equals to new ATM. Now we will need to ask the user for the input. So we will use the write line, just please enter an option Okay. So now we need to take the user input. We will take it as choice. Oops. Choice equals to console dot readline. Now we need to take that choice or the input from the user to apply it to the ATM and then call this method to handle the user input. So we have ATM dot input, and we will take that choice. And that's about it. This is the basic foundation of creating a menu in an object-oriented way. Oh, let's give it a try. Let's Control F5. So here, please enter an option. So we have a deposit and a withdraw. So if I choose withdraw, you chose withdraw, and the menu exit. But here's the advantage for the object-oriented method than the procedural method or the switch case. If I enter something like this number, the do nothing is called, nothing happens. The program doesn't crash. So you don't have to create any or through to handle any exceptions in the object-oriented method, and that's a very huge advantage if you have a really complicated program. So and as well, if I enter nothing, the program doesn't crash. So yeah, that's the basic foundation of creating an object-oriented program. First, we create the interface. You can choose, you can do whatever methods you need to have to every option, menu option, and then we create the do nothing to handle any exceptions or to handle any user input that doesn't have a menu option from it. Then we create the menu options with the interface, and then the class that brings all the menu option to create a dictionary from it, and then take a user input and apply it to that dictionary. And I think it's really important to know how to create a menu option in an object-oriented way, because if you have a very complicated or a very big program, you have to have an object-oriented method or object-oriented menu. Because if you deal with options that, like, you have like a menu of 5 options, and every options have also 5 options. If you do the procedural menu or the menu for the switch case method, you need like a switch case, and then every option has an enumerator, and then every case have also a switch case, because to handle any options from that option. So it will create a very complicated, very spaghetti code, a messy code. So this way is much better, much easier, and much clean code. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you.